Welcome back to all our viewers and listeners on Ymedia platform. Thanks for watching us. And continuing our Ymedia foreign policy segment, we now touch upon Putin and Modi summit. Any updates, Yudhvirji?
Yeah, as far as this Ymedia foreign policy report is concerned, the India-Russia summit has been part of the discussion on almost all media platforms across the globe, whether it's the international media that we're reading or watching or listening to, or of course the Russian media and the Indian media. They have covered a lot about this summit. This was a bilateral summit. Putin doesn't go out of country quite often, and during this summit, if the key takeaways are, I mean, right from the start, Prime Minister Modi, he broke the protocol, welcoming President Putin there at the airport itself. And that gave a clear signal that India is defying US pressure, because US and the West, they definitely want India to move away from Russia. There were articles published in Indian newspapers by the diplomats from the European nations, including France, Germany, Italy. They published articles in Indian newspapers right before the arrival of Putin. So questioning Vladimir Putin and actually questioning India too. Why are you carrying on your relationships with Russia? And I've heard here in the Western media many questioning Vladimir Putin's intention. He just mentioned he's ready to have, if Europe wants a war, Vladimir Putin says he's ready to have a war with them. So now on one side, there are sanctions against Russia, their leader, and of course, their business companies as well. But on the other side, Vladimir Putin, he enjoys good support from China, and what we've seen in India as well. He enjoys good support from India as well. And the personal chemistry, which we've seen earlier as well between Putin and Modi, that was again on full display during this bilateral summit. There were agreements signed from defense to space to technological exchange. India would set up, the export right now, the bilateral trade, if I may say this, that yes, is $69 billion, heavily skewed in favor of Russia, mainly because of the oil imports that India does from Russia. Despite, there has been a little bit less of an oil import this year as compared to 2023 and 2024. 2023 and especially 2024 was at its peak, but still we are importing a lot more oil than we did in 2020, 21, 22. Russia is now our top oil supplier or our energy supplier, Russia, at this moment. But I think India and Russia, yes, of course, the reception there at the Rashtrapati Bhavan, that we're seeing the visuals on our TV screen, the welcome at the airport and all this, these make great optics. And I think both the leaders, both the countries, Moscow and New Delhi, they're both doing it on purpose as well. They realize the importance of all these optics, the exchange of memorandum of understanding that you're seeing here, all this. Because they know the entire West is watching, especially the US is also watching, and both India and Russia, they're clearly saying this. Yes, the power, the influence that US had sometime, Russia is clearly saying this, that you know what, you could be the single superpower status, enjoying the single superpower status right now. But Russia and India, they're clearly saying this, that we have our own way of doing things, and especially India for that matter, because Russia, I know it's a defiant Russia. Putin does things in his own way, and he's even openly challenging, if you want a war, we're ready for that war. And actually the Ukraine war, Russia thinks they have gained the momentum, though Ukraine has a different opinion. And there was a question before the summit, with India, will Modi pressurize Putin into accepting a peace plan? So Indian Prime Minister Modi, he did mention that yes, we would want to see peace, the war, they would want the war to stop. This is no era for war. They have said this earlier as well. But they're not pressurizing Russia that yes, please do go, And Russia also, India has a history with Russia. Russia has supported India, whether it was the 62 war with China, the 71 war between India versus Pakistan. So, or when India got sanctioned because of the nuclear test that India did in 98. So, Russia has always been very supportive, and today as well. I mean, not only the energy needs that India has is being fulfilled by Russia at a very reasonable price for them, but other than that, India major arms import is still Russia is the main supplier. And we saw that in India-Pakistan conflict as well, whether it's S-400 now, whether it could be the S-500s, whether it's Sukhoi 57, more deals, on the table. So India will keep on, 2/3 of the Indian energy needs are being fulfilled from Russia, and almost 34% of the arms, import, that's still from Russia. Of course, India is looking at other partners, including US for its energy needs and arms import, including France, US, and energy import is done through Iraq, UAE, Saudi Arabia. But at the end of the day, Russia and India, they've clearly shown the message is loud and clear that yes, we will not, bow down to the pressure by US or the West. Clear.
Still on Asia only, let's go to Pakistan, and I have two pieces of information. DG ISPR, a Lieutenant General ranking official, has called Imran Khan as delusional. Is Imran Khan still a threat to Asim Munir, sir?
I'll answer, this is a two-part question. You're right, you're absolutely right. The press conference that recently was conducted by DG ISPR, in that press conference, not only delusional, but there were so many other words being used that Imran Khan, without naming actually, during the entire press conference, and one of the reporters asked as well that you didn't name Imran Khan, and we're all assuming, everyone knows that during this press conference, the Pakistan's army officer was definitely alluding towards Imran Khan, but they didn't name them. Without naming, they called him narcissist. And delusional, and also more importantly a security threat. So the entire organization, Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, and mainly they've targeted Imran Khan as a security threat. And there was a lot of discussion after this press conference, and during the press conference they said, "Tum ho kaun?" I mean, who are you? That was the main question asked. I mean, and the other point during the press conference which was made by the army establishment was that Imran Khan is, not only trying to instigate hatred towards the army or the army generals in particular, but he's also a national security threat, and maybe he has built ties with India, Afghanistan, and these are all, there was very serious allegations. These are very serious allegations against Imran Khan. And there was a repeat afterwards. Okay, let me say this as well. And then what happened that Imran Khan supporters across the globe, in Pakistan, abroad as well, whether it's US, Canada, or England, they all, they've always supported Imran Khan. They always see him as their hero. So they all said this very clearly, that these are all false claims by the military establishment. For them, he's a hero. He's nothing close to being called as a traitor or mentally unstable or a narcissist or whatever they were calling him. And then the defense minister Khwaja Asif, he clearly mentioned this thing that yes, Imran Khan's sisters, they were talking to Indian media, so they are also traitors as well. So there are a lot of allegations and counter allegations flying across. Just for our viewers' benefit who do not know or may not be following the story, I'll just in a few minutes, if I could brief the backgrounder. Imran Khan, he won the World Cup for Pakistan in 1992, became a national hero. He was already a global icon. Why? Because he was in England, and whether it was the royal family members, or then he got married to another influential family, and then he came to India. So whether he would travel anywhere, US, England, or Australia, anywhere, he was a star everywhere. A larger-than-life image, not just a cricket star, not just a cricket star.
Absolutely.
He's always lived, a life of a larger-than, hero. So what happened was that he wanted to join politics. So 1996, he he had a political ambition of becoming the prime minister of that country one day, and he started that in 1996, launching. But things didn't go well initially for him during late 90s or 2001, 10. But eventually, let's fast forward that in 2018, Imran Khan finally became the prime minister of Pakistan. His tenure would have ended in 2023, but 2022, with the no confidence motion, he was removed from the position as a prime minister. Now, there are many stories. Of course, former Prime Minister Imran Khan has alleged on behalf of US this has been done, and of course he would point fingers at the military establishment as well. The opposition would always say that you were brought in 2018 with the support of the army, so you were brought there, so why you're making these allegations now? But Imran Khan supporters have always contended that no, the 2018 elections were free and fair, the 151 seats that they got, and no other party would reach to triple digits in the National Assembly, and there were free and fair elections. Now 2022, he was removed. 2023, he was arrested in May 2023, and we all know about the 9th May incidents, when what happened that yes, there were many people who ransacked the GHQ, the army headquarters there on 9th May, and 9th May has been talked a lot about in the history of Pakistan. Now, the supporters of Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf or Imran Khan, excuse me, they would always say no, this was all orchestrated by the establishment. It was not Imran Khan supporters who would do that. Now, Imran Khan's supporters, they would always say this thing that no, we didn't have to do anything with this. But after that, there was more crackdown. October 2023, Imran Khan was arrested. He was put behind the bars. Then came some more charges. NAB, that's National Accountability Bureau, allegations of corruption. Then he was sentenced for 14 years in one case. So cases after cases against Imran Khan. Now, a parallel story I would share. Of course, we all know there were two main political parties. One is the Pakistan Muslim League Noon, led by Nawaz Sharif, and now, of course, he's still the leader, but then his younger brother, Nawaz Sharif, Shahbaz Sharif, is the current Prime Minister of Pakistan, and Nawaz Sharif's daughter, Maryam Nawaz Sharif, is the Chief Minister of Punjab. So this is one political party which has seen so many ups and downs. Then you have the People's Party of Pakistan, Zardari Saab, he's the main leader. But then other than him, his son now, Bilawal Bhutto Zardari, has been the former Foreign Affairs Minister. Now, of course, there are aspirations that Zardari wants his son, Bilawal, to become the next Prime Minister of Pakistan. So these are two groups there. And then you have the military establishment. We've seen that earlier as well with whether it was Ziaul Haq, whether it was Yahya Khan, whether it was General Pervez Musharraf, directly or indirectly with martial law, without martial law, they were always the de facto rulers of Pakistan. Fast forward there, there were General Ashfaq Kiani or General Bajwa, and now finally here comes General Asim Munir. General Asim Munir, he also became the head of ISI. So after a few months, his tenure was cut short. Now there are two different theories floating around. One is that General Asim Munir, he came to meet then Prime Minister Imran Khan, and he said that yes, there are allegations of corruption against your wife Bushra Bibi, and at that time the Chief Minister of Punjab. But Imran Khan has always denied that. There is no such thing. Now there are allegations that that's why he was moved out after a few months as the head of ISI. So that's where the trouble started between both of them. Now the trouble between Bajwa, General Bajwa or Imran Khan, where did it all begin? Earlier they would say we're on the same page. There are allegations again, I'll continuously be using the word allegations here. So there were allegations that yes, maybe, when General Bajwa or the establishment, when they were proposing the name of the ISI, of course, it's the prerogative of the Prime Minister to appoint the ISI head, but it has merely remained a formality that the establishment will propose 1 or 2, 3 names, and they would actually handpick who would head the ISI. But when Imran Khan, he said, okay, this is my prerogative, suggest me some other names, and he and that list was sent back and forth. So that's the time, the cracks were quite visible between Mr. Bajwa and the then establishment and Imran Khan. So that's why they're saying this no confidence motion. There are so many other theories floating around. But coming on to the current situation, then General Asim Munir, he takes charge. 2022 November, he becomes the Chief of Army Staff. So his tenure was about to finish on 28th November 2025 from 2022. After 3 years, the tenure was finished. So not only he was looking for extension, which almost every single general, from General Yahya Khan to Ayub Khan to Pervez Musharraf, General Ashfaq Kiani, they all look for extensions. They all look for extensions. General Bajwa. So now here is, he's not looking merely for an extension. He's in complete command, complete control. General Asim Munir, he's put Imran Khan behind the bars. Both the political parties, they're almost, their hands are tied. Nawaz Sharif, who was aiming to become the Prime Minister once again in 2024. By the way, PTI was not allowed to contest on the ballot paper, but eventually, with the proper symbol or the name, eventually they did contest, but they say the elections were rigged in 2024. Anyways, at that time also, Nawaz Sharif wanted to become the Prime Minister. There were already, advertisements bought in the national dailies there in Pakistan, and it was almost certain. But here comes the twist, Nawaz Sharif is not the Prime Minister. You have Shahbaz Sharif, installed as the Prime Minister, and then obviously Nawaz Sharif won't forget that. At this very moment, on 28th of November, when Asim Munir was all set to become, a new position was created for him. He was not merely seeking, extension. Asim Munir was all set to become a newly minted position, CDF, Chief of Defense Forces.
Yeah, I do have a bit of what you call news on that part, sir. I'll finish it later.
Yeah. So the CDF, now it was, okay, it's a mere formality. The notification would be issued by the Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif. So Shahbaz Sharif, at that time, before issuing that notification, he flies to Bahrain. Then a health checkup in England, London, England. Okay, and then he comes back. Instead of landing in Islamabad, he's going to Lahore. And then from 28th November, there were so many theories floating around, 28, 29, 30th November, 1st, 2nd, 3rd December. No notification is issued, and suddenly they all say it's the rise of Nawaz Sharif. Or maybe, he's just giving it back. That's his revenge for General Asim Munir, that just as he was all set to become the Prime Minister, at that time, the rug was pulled from his feet, under his feet, and this time it was just giving it back from Nawaz Sharif, this time to General Asim Munir. So now what happens is that, and of course there were allegations, nobody knows because I'm not privy to any meetings. I'm just reading the newspapers or listening to other news, So whatever news I've been gathering, of course they could be making some backroom deals. Nawaz Sharif would always want to be more powerful, and maybe there were also discussions that he would want him to be installed back as a Prime Minister. There's so many things. These are all mere theories, which I'm reading or listening. So I don't want to really say this, that yes, this is exactly what happened. But one thing is definite, they were not discussing anything for the common person in Pakistan. No, absolutely not. They were all discussing, these are all deals, that are made between all these leaders, including General Asim Munir. If he goes to, White House, he's not asking. The generals have never asked. General Ziaul Haq, they got millions and millions. They did deals. General Ziaul Haq, they got millions and millions and actually billions of dollars from the West, especially from US, to fight war against terror or the Afghan war, and from whether it was General Yahya Khan or whether General Ziaul Haq, he got a massive package. He negotiated. Okay, we offer you 400 million. He said 400 million US dollars at that time. It's peanuts. So fast forward that to now, they've all got money. They're all doing deals. So now that the notification has been now issued, but now is Imran Khan, is he still a threat? I would say yes. Despite being in jail, he is a big threat. He doesn't have access to the outside world, but he's been able to mobilize the youth. He's been able to mobilized many supporters, not only in Pakistan, but across the globe. Many Pakistanis who live abroad, they support Imran Khan. We get calls on our radio show, on our TV show, and most of my friends who are from Pakistan, most of them, they support Imran Khan.
And continuing on the same line, sir, Field Marshal has been confirmed as a CDF. I'd like to read, the President, on the advice of the Prime Minister, is pleased to appoint him as the Chief of Defence Staff for 5 years. Big development to Yudhviji. Zardari, Sharifs, they have finally conceded, right?
Not that they have conceded, and actually they never will. It's, I mean, they're not going to concede or accept defeat, because whether Nawaz Sharif was behind the bars, he was confined to prison with his fight against General Pervez Musharraf. But even behind the bars, he has his international relationship set up, and there were many international parties willing to give, sureties that, okay, just send him in exile, General Musharraf, if you will, and we will make sure he'll never come back to Pakistan, he'll never join politics. And then he was sent abroad. During, that was his fight with General Pervez Musharraf, but he still comes back. Then his fight with Imran Khan. He was not being let out, but on the grounds that his health is really in bad shape. He could even lose his life. So he was again let out. He was again let to go abroad. But here comes Nawaz Sharif back to Pakistan in politics, very active. So the fight against General Asim Munir, the generals have eventually lost. We saw what happened with Yahya Khan. We saw what happened with General Ziaul Haq. Of course, that was a very, very tragic. We saw what happened with General Pervez Musharraf, this blue-eyed boy of US. He was not, in his last stages when he had severe health issues, he was not even being allowed to visit US. So Pakistan also, there were cases running against him, allegations of disproportionate assets, and so many other things.
Viewers, that wraps up our Why Media Foreign Policy segment.
And we also have a special guest, Atulji, if he wants to mention certain things.
Yes, Atulji, any more
please.
songs coming in?
No, he wants to add something to foreign policy.
Yeah,
or anything.
go ahead, sir.
All right. Well, I think at the core of the two topics you've talked about, I think a lack of the understanding of the rights of citizens in the developing world leads to these dynamics. So whether it's a transaction relationship that India and Russia have, where they tap into the sorry, am I turned on, turned off?
Yeah, no, go ahead. Carry on.
So you're registering me? All right. So whether it is the transactional relationship that India has with Russia, which is to do with the acquisition of arms at short notice, or the energy security that India has, but I see an enduring alliance with the United States at all times. India is a natural ally with the US. It's a democratic nation, technologically driven, the English language, literacy, innovation, information technology. So all these values will always align India to the United States. And I, while these are, I think, blips, I think you will find that at an enduring level, when things iron themselves out, the India and the US will have an enduring relationship. When you look at Pakistan, you look at Imran Khan, he's an eloquent, very intelligent man. Not to be mistaken, a lot of people do that he's a socialite. He's not. He's a very deep, strong man. And definitely will be a threat to any establishment that is opposed to a thinking electorate, to a thinking governance machinery. And so the successive military governments that have come in and gone, and the actual pervasiveness with which they run the agenda in a country that is largely illiterate.
So, Yudhviji, be it politics or sport, the equations remain the same, pretty much.
Yes, they do. Yes.
That's about it, sir. If you want to add on anything else. And,
no, it's always pleasure joining everyone. So, Atulji, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Atulji, for being in the studios and sharing your thoughts and views with us.
My pleasure.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you. So. Thank you so much.
Ymedia.
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 Stay tuned.